Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Saturday, April 9th, 2022. Moving day at the Masters. As I try to explain to the ECSI VIP family and anyone that wants to listen, when you are investing and wagering in golf, there's a couple keys to success. You A, make the cut. B, have a great moving day. And C, sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the Sunday sweats. It's simple. So, how you invest in golf obviously is entirely up to you. I can tell you if you play two guys in a tournament with 145 golfers and that's your two swings, well, God bless you. You know, if you hit one of those once a year, I guess you'll break even. It's called entertainment for most. For what we try to do is we try to break down the board to the best of our ability, where we'll have maybe a half dozen, 6, 7, 8 swings, all created equal. We're not firing one full unit at all 8 swings with a, let's just say, for instance, Cam Smith at 16-1, where if he wins, it's worth $1,600. Well, if we have a guy like Sung Jae Im at plus 8,300, we're not going to have $100 on him to cash 8,300 as much as we would, but you need to kind of use a bankroll and money management, we call it. So we kind of try to create them as close to equal as possible. So on Thursday, when we cashed the Sung Jae Im plus 6,000 first round leader, you know, we had a half dozen others, you know, and again, I told everyone there, you know, even if it's $10 pizza money, I saw about a dozen $10 turn into $600. So we didn't net 600 on the first round leader. We probably netted close to 500 after everything was said and done. So I am going to ask Scotty the question, which I put on our preview. I'm going to wait to that because it'll be interesting to see his answer. And even if he's not a golf guru, I think he'll know where I'm leaning towards that. For our VIP family yesterday, I tell you what, I maybe I jinxed us because I started talking about some bad beats, some late night heroics, and we technically should have went 3-0 yesterday, or could have went 3-0 yesterday, I said. Instead, we go 1-2, and I guess maybe we could have easily gone 0-3. Our first game, the Giants, 3-0 lead, 3-1 lead, then down 4-3, bottom of the ninth, tie it. And then win it in extras, 6-5. Actually, I'm sorry. We were down 5-4 in the ninth, tied at 5-5, and then won 6-5. After a guy got picked off second, I just speechless at that one. Second game, Wild up 3-1, third period. Of course, blow the 2-goal lead and lose in overtime. And the NBA, our first release of the week, and I just put that in the back burner. Wait till the playoffs, pick some series, and we'll go from there. Atlanta Hawks comfortably in the lead, get outscored 16-6 to end the game, and we lose there. So 1-2 on the night, minus 1.32 units, I think, overall. And we move on. Wake up this morning. I dove into some Masters potential head-to-heads I'll talk about. But what I want to do is I want to bring Scotty on right now, and I got to ask him this question. So, from the Palm Tree States himself, the one, the only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scott.
Morning, Jeff. It's what is it? It's a Saturday morning. It used to be one of my favorite days when I was a kid. It was cartoon day, man. Get up, get downstairs. Mom, Dad's still asleep, and go watch Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, yes. Yes, I'm trying to think what the lineup was, because I knew around noon, too, you got Fat Albert, and there was a bunch of those coming on. And I brought the damn allergies with me, so sorry for I said on our text I sounded like Darth Vader. I feel like I got to loosen this chest up, but nothing's working. But it is what it is. So, you're a smart man. I'm a smart man. Everyone out here listening, please listen to what I'm going to preach right now. Or I'm going to tell you. We're halfway through the Masters, Scotty. Okay? Scotty Scheffler has a 5-shot lead. Okay? He is now the number 1 ranked golfer in the world going into this tournament. He has entered in 6 tournaments this year and won 3 of them. Our friends at Westgate have offered plus $100 if you bet Scheffler to win this tournament right now. And they even did a prop. Scheffler plus 100 or no minus 120. Now, I was born at night, not last night. So I'm going to ask you this question. Is Scotty Scheffler, per the eyes in Vegas, going to win the Masters?
Nope.
Thank you.
Welcome. I mean, that's a pretty easy question.
Now, listen. Nothing against Scotty Scheffler. He is his heart as lava from a volcano in Hawaii. Can he go box to wire and win this tournament? Of course he can. Am I rooting against him? Well, kind of, sort of, because I don't have a Scheffler ticket. I could easily tell everyone, hey, go hedge whatever you got. Go put a unit. It's not even worth it. And if this was Tiger in his prime, with a 5-shot lead going into moving day, Tiger would be minus 500. If I saw Scheffler minus 180, 190, minus 220, I'd respect it. Vegas is begging with a capital B to run to that window. You're giving me the number 1 ranked golfer with a 5-shot lead, and you're giving me even money. Talk about just the concept of that, Scott.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the what do you always call them? The Jedi mind tricks, right? So, I mean, that's the stuff they do to balance risk. I mean, they're creative, man, and they got outside the box thinkers, and if you fall into I don't want to call it logical thinking. But if you fall into the idea that, hey, that makes sense, let me go do that without really thinking it through as to why the bet was played or was even offered, I think that's where you run into the risk of your own problems. So you got to think that through. Good morning, Marty. I think that's where you really got to. And that was a good catch on your side. I mean, that's just one of the things I think that you got to be careful with, because there's reasons why things are done for sure, and they might be trying to do who knows what.
I was listening to Derek Stevens yesterday, the owner and creator, whatever the god of the Circa and the Mecca in Vegas, downtown on Fremont Street, and he was on late last night, and he was talking about if Tiger Woods was ever to win this, it would be the biggest liability in the history of sports. Not just last week, last month, last year, not the Knights potentially winning the Stanley Cup a few years ago in their inaugural season, Conor McGregor, Mayweather, anything like that. This says that it would actually disturb NASDAQ on Monday morning. That's how earth-shattering it would be.
Well, he would know, right? I mean, he's the guy that takes the money. He's the guy that puts the numbers out there. He's the guy that says, hey, if you got an opinion, walk up to the book. I'll take your money on your opinion. And that's the point. I mean, they got to, one of the things that I think I got to get better at too, to a certain degree, is, making bold statements, making bold things happen, because when you say those things, it gets attention. And not only does it get attention, it gets what you want. It gets the action to where you want it to go. And it does, it says a whole lot. Maybe he wants more money, bet on Tiger Woods. I don't know. He's not a stupid guy. He's like, look, if I say certain things out there, what's it going to do to get people to go bet on Tiger Woods? And then he's not going to win. And then if you don't win, I make all this money. So, or I cover this other stuff, whatever he's trying, whatever he's trying to do. And I always say this, and this is not any disrespect intended to the guys that are line readers and market readers, so don't take it that way. But when you're not behind the counter, it's really hard sometimes to understand exactly what's going on. Sure, you can have a really good understanding or viewpoint or view of what you think is going on, but sometimes it's not even that at all. So it's hard to be in these lanes and get it right every single time. And that's what I like about you. I mean, you're not right all the time, neither am I. But at the same time that we're not right, we've been around long enough that the spidey senses kind of tingle in the back of your head, and your hair sticks up, and your arms go, "What the is going on?" Because this ain't right. And then you start to thinking it through, and then it gets to a point where you just say, "I don't need to think it through. This is just stupid. Something's wrong." So if there's something wrong, you either go the other way or you don't play. You got to find those spots, because those are big alarm bells.
And I got a text from a good buddy of mine, and he pointed out to me, even as SHEFFLER was wrapping it up on 18, and he left 2 birdies on the course to finish, where he actually could have probably got at least a 6 or maybe even a 7-shot lead. And then that he pointed it out to me, and then I waited till DraftKings posted their numbers. And then Jeff Sherman at Westgate. If you're not following him, follow him. He's spot on, and he sent that out there. I was waiting to see that. And listen, guys, I'm not saying SHEFFLER can't win. I am not saying that here. Okay, he has a 5-shot lead. He is now the number 1 ranked golfer. But I always talk about when you walk into a casino, into a sports book, and you look at the numbers and you breathe, and I wait for that, that feeling. Okay. And that sports book, all the bright lights, look behind me. That's the bright lights I'm talking about. When games jump off the board to you, it's like a kid in a candy store, and they are set up exactly for that. They're trying to grab your attention to make you walk to the window. And that's a big part of our business. And now with social media, people read stuff on social media. I call it the water cooler. Okay. I have talked at length on our shows to Scotty, to anyone that wants to listen. ESPN, Fox, the crawler at the bottom of our screen here. You're sitting at your desk and you see, I always use this as an example. The Celtics are 10-0 on Friday nights after coming off a loss on Wednesday, and they are back at home. And then there you go. It's the carrot. It gives you a reason to play. So you go to the water cooler. I say, hey, Scotty, you're not going to believe what I just saw. And then Scotty's going to tell a friend, and so on and so forth. So you're all going to run to the window and play the Celtics. And guess what? The Celtics aren't going to win, and they're not going to cover. And I always say, where was this the last 9 times? They just show it to you on the 10th time, and it doesn't come in. So that's my little speech for the day today when it comes to that. Baseball, geez. A lot of things happening last night. Bullpens blowing up. Unders getting blown up in extra innings. I can be honest with you. I guess there was a great moment where, and I don't know her name, I apologize, in the Angels game, was actually interviewing the Astros rookie, their parents, and he gets up and hits a homer, and it was kind of a special moment there. And then all of a sudden I saw the final score, and I guess the Angels back in doing what they're famous for. And my guy, Kyle Tucker, with 2 homers last night, not 1, but 2. But assessment on last night and yesterday overall in the MLB, Scott.
I would tell you that the starting pitchers are doing pretty well in most cases. Of course, having said that, Barrios didn't do worth a shit. He got one out yesterday, Jeff, and they had to come get him. And what do you think about that team?
Well, and not to interject, because of course the two bad beats everyone's going to talk about is obviously having the Rangers plus 1.5, 7-0 lead, they lose 10-8, and then having Atlanta minus 1.5, 7-0 lead, and they win 7-6. And again, that's baseball. And I was ranting with the Giants yesterday, and then we ended up pulling that one off. Sorry to interject, but this is what happened. Never mind, it's the first weekend, but this is baseball.
The second day.
Yes.
I mean, that's how baseball goes. But I would say this. I'd say first of all, in most cases, the starting pitchers are doing what the starting pitchers are supposed to be doing at this point. The bullpens, oh boy, guy. Even the bullpens that are supposed to be good, like Atlanta is supposed to have a really good bullpen. Remember, Kenley Jansen and all these guys out there. Shit, he threw 30 pitches yesterday. So when you're thinking about how to play some of these games, and I talked about it before, and you're going to see a little bit of it today. I think that it's let's take that shit out of play a little bit. Because a lot of what you're doing is going to be based off of, because there's two ways to work this. A lot of it's going to be based off of what your starting pitchers are doing and how that's what your main handicap's got to be. But if you're playing totals, I guarantee you want to know what's going on in the bullpen, and you're going to need to expect them to give up runs. So if you think there's going to be some scoring given up by the starting pitchers, holy shit, they're going to score a shit ton of runs off the bullpen. So just assume that you're going to get some runs. So, I mean, I put out a bunch of stuff about weather and cold weather and all that stuff. And I think that's coming to fruition here. Cold weather doesn't mean they don't score runs. I mean, I get it. The ball doesn't travel farther and all that other stuff. I mean, physics and all that stuff is all part of that. But knowing what the line is important. The average Major League Baseball game scores 9 runs. And it used to be that you wanted to look at 9 or 9.5 as an American League number and 8 or 8.5 as a National League number because they got pitchers. Guess what? They ain't got no pitchers no more. So there might be the numbers might stay the same. They just adjust a little bit, and that they get 9s everywhere. So if you're in most of these numbers that I'm seeing are 8, 8.5, stuff like that. You're still getting a better value and I know that it's going to sound terrible coming from a guy like me that says, okay, your overs are going to be good, but I'm telling you, right now with the way the weather is, people think you're supposed to be betting unders. You're going to be betting unders, you're going to lose. Now, I played an under yesterday and won, but that was a first 5 under, and it makes you look smart sometimes when you play a first 5 under and then the game goes over. So I mean, that's what happened, so it makes you look smart. Sometimes, your handicap was good and it fell right into the way you thought it would. Other times, you sit there and go, shit, I got lucky as hell. But so that was a good thing. That was that Marlins game. I played the first 5 under 4, and that was 3-0 after 5, and then it ended up being 11 runs in the game. And then the game I lost yesterday, because I only played 2. The game I lost, I took Tampa Bay minus 1.5 on the run line, and they won by 1. Not because they didn't have a whole bunch of chances to score. I mean, they had left the bases loaded in 1 inning, and then in the 8th inning, they got the bases loaded with nobody out and only scored 1. So, they just didn't get the extra run that I needed them to get. So I'm still not, I think I'm handicapping just fine after the first games. I lost that one day in San Diego comeback game, and I lost the Rays game. Those are the only ones I lost. I will say this about preferencing today's board. This ain't an easy board, and for baseball, This is a very difficult board for baseball, because you don't want to make a habit of betting, minus 150 and higher. So I'm doing my article that's going up on the website here in a second. There are 15 games in Major League Baseball today, and 12 of the 15 games are minus 140 or higher. So that means you got to be real creative in what you're going to do. And I think I'm being creative today, Jeff. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
You know what? I woke up. I take the snapshots. Anyone new and listening, first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, there would be no us. I mean, we are gaining so much traction. And I said this yesterday to someone, and they reiterated it. And I'm not saying this just to be a smart ass, wise ass, or whatever. We're on the cusp of greatness. And what I mean this is myself and Scott do something that 98% of the others don't do. And I'm not here, Scott's not here to badger anyone, because this is the freedom of speech. This is open lanes, open market. Social media allows you to be whoever the hell you want to be. And you can create, I could say I'm 6'2", blonde hair, blue eyes, built like Adonis, and I'm 31 years old. And yet you look at me, I barely have any hair. It's all gray. And I'm literally 5'8". Well, I'm probably about 5'7.5" now, Scotty. I'm at that back nine shrinking mode. But the fact of the matter is, all right, we're right here. And we are discussing and breaking down sports, and especially baseball, like no other. Scotty does it his way. Sabermetrics creates his own numbers. He talks about more alphabet and abbreviations than Webster's dictionary. And myself, I'm a market guy. Okay. I'm not perfect. Scott's not perfect, but we're giving you guys opportunities to join us, to come on board and to ask questions. And as Scotty will discuss how he breaks these games down, I will also give you the eye test, what the market said last night and what it's now saying this morning. Now, I talked to Scotty at length about a matchup today, and I'm going to be interested to see what he now thinks. Because listen, just because the team lost 2 in a row doesn't mean now automatically it's a must win. It's 162 games. Okay. But I am kind of surprised at the number. And I think he knows the game that I'm talking about. This Astros team that has come into in the Angels, won the first 2. Their bats woke up, scored 13 last night. A pitching duel, the first game 3-1. And in comes Verlander, who had a real, I'd say a good spring training. Velocity's back, coming off an injury. And here comes Noah Syndergaard. Scotty has talked about it length. And what are you going to get from Thor? And the overnight, okay, Wager Talk is showing the overnight line of 120. I know it was higher than that. Scotty knows it was higher than that. But the public's seeing at minus 107.
This is a game where I think it's going to be disappointing in the sense that, yes, I would love to watch this game where you have Verlander and Syndergaard in June against each other, where they're ramped up. They're going to throw as many pitches as they need to throw, and it's going to be, that's going to be that kind of game. My concern here is 2 things. I think one, both of these guys coming off of injuries are going to make this where the managers go, you're on a fine number, whatever that number is. If it's 55 pitches, if it's 60 pitches, if it's whatever, you are not going past that number. So whether we're ahead, behind, it doesn't matter. So ultimately, this is going to be a bullpen game. The question becomes is what's the score prior to the bullpen game, right? So I look at this and I'm going, the Angels bullpen they just ain't good enough. So I'm an Astros guy in this game too.
So Scotty, if I said if I've been afraid of the Angels bullpen since and don't take this the wrong way, guys. I was going to say Donnie Moore. I'm going back to the Red Sox, and that amazing comeback with Henderson and the homer there. I'm being sarcastic. Donnie, rest in peace, please. But the fact of the matter is that the Angels bullpen for so long has been so bad. They got a good closer back there. I respect him, but they don't have the bridges. They just don't have the arms. So if I had been eyeing this game, I think I'm taking my actual value away. In other words, Verlander can give you 5. Maybe he can give you 5 if the pitch count stays low. So if I wanted to get cute and creative here, because you're saying it's going to be a bullpen game, my swing, if I was on the Angels, then would have to be on the first 5, correct?
If you want to be on the Angels, yeah. That's what I would say. Because Syndergaard ain't going very long. And he's got a propensity to be wild. Verlander does not have a propensity to be wild. Plus, he's 38 years old or however old he is now, so he's had 2 years off. So it's a matter of how long do they let him go? And to be honest, I always like the Angels when the Angels are hot. Because when they're hot, you can't get them out. You got guys that are streaky hot hitters, Ohtani and Trout and Rendon. Those guys are guys. Well, Trout hits all the time, but I mean, they're guys that when they're hot, and those guys in that lineup, they're gonna win a lot of games that way. When they're not so hot, you got to rely on the other guys. Okay, well, who in the hell are the other guys? That's the problem with the Angels is, yes, they've got some great talent. They got Marsh and they got a couple other guys that can hit the ball pretty well. But they're not the big guys that can get on base and make stuff happen and create runs. That's what kind of bothers me about the Padres a little bit. The Padres are a team that play like the New York Yankees. I mean, they just try to go up there and hit home runs all the time, and they strike out all the time.
They had back-to-back guys that got them 6 no-hit innings to start.
Well, that's a different story. The Arizona Diamondbacks are a team that will go into stretches, and they're starting a stretch. So you're gonna see me play this side. I'm gonna ride this stretch with this until it dies. Arizona is not hitting, and they are a team that gets into these funks that way, and they can go 6, 7, 8 games without hitting the ball. So I'm going to play against them over and over and over, and today's going to be one of those days.
All right, we're a half hour in. Take it away on the baseball side, brother.
Yeah, well, I got 3 plays today out of this crazy board, and then I got a surprise for you. All right, so the 3 plays. The first play that I like is at 2:00, 2:05 start. This is Seattle and Minnesota, and you got Gilbert against Gray. And if you've been in these or listened to me talk before, anytime you got a pitcher that is facing a team they really haven't faced before, or have a lineup they haven't seen before, the pitcher has the advantage because the pitcher knows where the weaknesses of the hitters are, and the hitters don't know what the ball's going to do coming out of the pitcher's hand. These 2 guys, Gilbert has had, I think, what was the number I'm looking at now? He has had 12 batters, or 12 batters, wrong, right? 12 at-bats against him from Minnesota players. And Sonny Gray, because he pitched in the National League, has only had 17 from Seattle. These 2 guys, it's going to take them 3, the first 3 innings, that's the first time everybody will see the pitcher. And then now you got the 4th and the 5th inning, they got to score all these runs to take the game over the number. So they're both good pitchers. They're not bad pitchers. Sonny Gray's got, I'm going to call them plus pitches. You hear people say, oh, they've got plus pitches. Well, he's got 3 of them. And what a plus pitch to me is that there's Fangraphs does a thing called outs above average by pitch. And you have pluses and minuses. You're either to the good side or the bad side of that number. And he's got 3 pitches of the 5 that he throws that are plus pitches, meaning that he gets outs above average on those 3 pitches. And Gilbert has 2 of the 4 that he throws. So these are good pitchers facing good lineups. But I do like the idea here that this game is going to go under 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings. So I played it under 4.5 runs and it got a -115. So that's play number 1. Play number 2 is a 4 o'clock start. This is an interleague game. And this is where you have Irvin, who is matching up against Gibson today with Oakland and Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia is a team, obviously, it's going to be a big offensive team. So you want to play on the big offense when they have a pitcher they're facing that, A, is not a ground ball pitcher, and B, is a guy who's not a big strikeout guy. Okay, well, guess what Irvin is? He is not a strikeout guy, and he is not a ground ball pitcher. He gives up a lot of hard contact. They're going to be facing Oakland's going to be facing Gibson. Now, Gibson's not the greatest guy in the world, but he's a veteran guy. He's got all kind of different pitches, and he doesn't walk anybody. So that's what's good about him. And I like the idea here that he's not going to be facing the greatest offense in the world. So you can get, and I played it this way. I played Gibson in Philadelphia -0.5 run in the first 5 innings on the run line at -125. So that's the second play. The third play, that's like I told you, I'm going to stay and ride in these Padres against Arizona. And this one, I'm not. Even though that first game came down to that guy throwing 100 miles an hour and he walked everybody and they gave up the home run and they lost the game at the end, I'm going to play Musgrove on the run line today minus the 1.5 plus 100. And the reason I'm doing that is because that trade they made, and it worked out great for them last night. They brought in Donelson Lamet, and he knocked down one of the outs. And then they bring in the guy from Minnesota, and he did an awesome job closing out the game. And those guys are both going to be available today, even though they pitched yesterday, only because they didn't throw very many pitches. So I like the idea of that. And the pitcher on the other side is Davies. And Davies is a soft tosser, gets hit all over the place. He has had good success against the lineup, against the Padres. But that being said, I think the Padres are going to score at least 2. And Arizona's got to start hitting. They only got 3 hits against the Darvish, and I don't remember what the hit total was yesterday, but it couldn't have been too damn much. I'll look real quick. But it couldn't have been too many damn hits. It was they got 2 hits yesterday. So in 2 games they got 5 hits, Jeff. So and the truth of the matter is Musgrove can be as good or better than both of those 2 guys that pitched so far. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Padres on the run line minus the 1.5 at plus 100. So those are the 3 plays. So I got a plus 100. I got a minus 125 and minus 115. Now here's the surprise, Jeff. I told you that I've got my program now working to where I added a couple of things, and one of the things I added was strikeout props. So I've got 2 strikeout props, and here's what I'm going to say. I only bet a half a unit on these because it's a work in progress, but at the same time, it's a work in progress. I think it's pretty good. Number 1 is Sonny Gray with Minnesota over 4.5. Now the line was 144 when I bet it. I don't know what it is now, but these strikeout props, you don't always get the greatest of values on them, but I like his number because my number says he should get at least 6. So 4.5 Sonny Gray over in strikeouts, minus 144 for half a unit. And the other one I'm going to take a shot with, and that's because of what his velocity changes were and things that happened in spring training. It's Mitch Keller of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going to go over 4.5 on his number, and you get plus 132. and he's playing the Cardinals today. So those are two strikeout props that I'm going to throw out there.
Love it, love it, love it. For myself in the eye test, for now, again, it's still early. Well, not that early, but we're getting there. It's 11:06 Eastern time. What kind of sort of caught my eyes? You're talking about the Padres, how they have started, how their front end pitching has started. Again, I'm not going to release a 170 number. I might peek into the first five minus the hook there. Again, just a lean. We have plenty of time to look at that. I have to piggyback off you. Now, I have Gilbert on our fantasy team, and I'm not comparing the two, trust me, because business is business. The $2,500 swing for 20K that is what it is. That's entertainment / investing. But the Minnesota Open up 140 caught my eyes. I think that's a respect number. I think they're, again, two good pitchers. I like your angle. I like your thought process on Greg. Gilbert's a young, good pitcher as well. But I will tell you this, Twins minus 138 at Westgate is where we will be currently as we speak there.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just one thing, Marty brought it up there on the timeline there. Just a few minutes ago, it was released that Dwayne Haskins, a quarterback from Ohio State that's played in Pittsburgh, he got run over by a car and he didn't make it. So anyway, just letting you know.
Rest in peace, Dwayne. Rest in peace. So young.
Yes, sir. He was 24.
Wow. Thank you, Marty. I won't be dabbling in the Texas Toronto again. It's kind of comical though, Scott. It's Dunning versus Gosman. Gosman first start in back in the American League. Under over a 9. I would expect Twitterville, gambling Twitter, whatever you want to call it, will be all in on the over after the fireworks yesterday. 18 months scored there. Won't be dabbling there. Will not be jumping back in the Red Sox to bounce back. I'm not a big Pavetta fan at all. Just remember the Yankees opened up minus 180. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's down to 148. I don't know what you're going to get from Severino. Again, you start getting into those 148s, 150s, and they start to add up. If you play two of them and go 0-2, well, you're losing 3 units. So just be careful there. I, again, would lean Yankees and respecting the minus 180 overnight number there. Kansas City, Cleveland pass. Again, the Houston Angel game caught my eye. I thought that number would be, it was 130, 135 2 nights ago. It was 120. I do lean the Angels. Now, with that said, do I have the cojones to go full game? I don't know yet, but stay tuned there and watch my timeline there. Masters, I want to throw out a couple potential head-to-head matchups to anyone that's listening and that anyone that cares. Put some pizza money on it, or quarter, or whatever. If you have any questions, holler. And these odds were from DraftKings this morning. Cam Smith is facing Connors. Can grab Connors plus 125 in a head-to-head matchup today. Webb Simpson plus 145 against Cantlay. This one's a little steep. Rahm minus 160 against Hatton. And Sergio minus 110 versus Bubba Watson. Those were 4 head-to-head matchups that we saw some value on when we did our simulator on our head-to-heads there. I'll take a quick look at hockey for everyone here. See what we got on the frozen pond. No. St. Louis opening up minus 165 on a back-to-back. We'll respect that opening number. I'm not telling you to play it. It's down to 136 there, but keep an eye on the Blues. Everyone on there and their mother will be play Vegas regulation or Vegas minus the goal line there. keep an eye on Colorado. They opened up -140, now -112 at Edmonton there. So full day baseball, pucks, Masters. You can find me at EC Sports Invest. You can find Scotty at Webby20 MLB, and the mouse wants to play games. Scotty, closing thoughts.
Well, it is. You never know what's going to happen, and I think that you just try to do the best you can to stay in the right frame of mind and the right attitude, and you make the smartest plays you can, and you don't control the outcomes. So you can't worry about the outcomes. You just keep making as smart wagers as you can make, and if you do that consistently over time, you're going to be just fine. So that's how you get through baseball season. I'm just telling you. The best thing that I do in baseball season is I got baseball games going on all around me, but I'm worried about the next day as soon as I'm done with this day, and I don't really pay much attention. I even got to go back half the time and look at what I actually wagered on because I'm dealing with the next day already. So the point being is that just make sure that you are understanding how it works, because when they tell you it's a grind, it is. Now, having said that, it is a blast, man. Baseball is a blast because just imagine if you're on the other side of some of those losses that we talk about or that people go crazy about, and you're on the other side and you're just in euphoria because you just won a game that there is no reason in hell you should have won. But hell, that's just money in your pocket. That's like shit. You went outside and you found $100 or whatever it is you bet on the game. It's laying on the floor. You just picked it up and put it in your pocket. That's what it's like.
For myself, I just want to make a statement here, guys. If you've got caught up in the euphoria this week, Monday was the national championship game, which everyone's already forgot about. The Masters. We're now in day 3 of the MLB, and you're looking at your weekly total, and you were on the wrong side of a few bad beats. You were on the wrong side of Kansas. You had the spread, not the money line. You're sitting with a couple Masters guys that didn't make the cut, and you're like, holy shit, I'm down 4 or 5 units. You don't wake up this morning and say, well, I'm going to get those all today, and then I'm going to make money, and we're going to profit and collect on Monday. It just doesn't happen that way. You really, really got to ground yourself and keep yourself in your lanes. Do not get over your ski tips, because you can turn a -4 or 5 unit week into a -8, 9, 10, 12 unit week, and you're out of bullets and ammo going into next week. And we're not even halfway through April. I mean, tax day is Friday. Holy shit, we're at the halfway point on Friday. It'll be my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Kim, in advance. But anyways, so if you're having problems with that part of this equation, a part of the whole thing that we call investing, wagering, reach out, holler. Hey, Jeff, I'm really struggling with my unit size and my bankroll management. It's not working. What can I do? Well, first thing I would have to say is maybe cut it in half. If you're a $50 player and you're struggling right now, there's nothing wrong with betting quarters. Quarters add up. The rule is to bet 2 to 3% of your bankroll. Okay. So if you had $1,000 bankroll, you're technically supposed to be betting between $20 and $30 a game. And people's like, Jesus Christ, Jeff, that does nothing to me. That's the point. It's when you start throwing the remote because you got $100, $150, $200 on a game because that's what gets your juices flowing. Well, that's what the bookies and the casinos want, because a 1 in 5, a 2 in 6, and next thing you know, your $1,000 bankroll is down to $300, and then you might as well just kiss it away, because mentally you're gone. It's over. It's just a matter of time till you give it away.
I will say a couple of things here. Number one, Jeff and I behind the scenes are talking about how we can do our Discord channel. So I just want to, what I would like, I don't know how many people we have. I know we get a lot of people that watch the show, not necessarily live, but we need some feedback here, guys, because there's 2 things in play. One, we were planning on doing this as part of the VIP package and just having the VIP people be in there. But I don't know that that's really. I think it would be a better service to do it a different way. So number one, the question is, the VIPs are definitely get in there. But number one, the question that I have is, all of this stuff that we do and all these things, I think is very valuable. And I think having way more access to us on a regular basis can be if you participate, that's the big thing, is if you participate, it will be a huge edge for yourselves. So the question becomes that Jeff and I are bantering back and forth, or at least that I'm bantering back and forth anyway. I don't know how much he's bantering it, but how do we offer it? It's there. It's already built. It's ready to go. We just got to put people in it. I don't want to put one or two or three guys in there and then just have nothing happening. We need to get like 20 guys, and then we'll just put them all in there at one time. So I need a list. I need people who want to be in the Discord channel. Now, the question then becomes is, how do we do this? Because my thoughts is that I don't want to just put a link out there and put it on Twitter and go, oh, anybody and everybody can jump into this. I want to regulate this to a certain degree to the people that really want to deal with me and Jeff. So my thought is let's just put one step in place and say, okay, let's charge $10 to get people in it. And if we do that, then that's just it doesn't cost $10 is $10. It's not even a wager. It's not even a lunch at McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, it costs more than $10 for that. So my point being is that I just want to put some kind of a little thing in there that filters out just the me putting a link on the Twitter feeds and going, hey, go put in, go get in and be part of our Discord channel. Because I don't know that I want everybody. I want people that want us, and I want people that want help, and I think that's a filter. So my thoughts are this: give me feedback as much as you can, whether it's live through Twitter, whether it's not. I'll put a question mark out there or whatever, or maybe I'll do it as a poll or something. I don't know, whatever, just to get some kind of feedback, and or go ahead and send it to Jeff's email and see where we are and get feedback on that. So that was the thing that I wanted to sort of touch base on, and then the last thing I wanted to say is my thought process has always been like Jeff when it comes to bankroll management and all that stuff. I will tell you this: I'm learning a lot more about today's world than I ever thought I would, meaning that, and I know it just looks like I wear T-shirts and stuff like this on here, but I was like talking to Jeff. I mean, this is a Tommy Bahama T-shirt. This shirt costs $100. This one shirt, and I only say that not because I'm rich. I say that because I went to lunch with my wife yesterday. She got off on Friday early. We went to just a sandwich place. It's just a little place. It's called Forge Garage. Went there. It's $80 for two people to eat lunch. We go to dinner. It's $110 for us to go eat dinner. I'm talking about a restaurant, not going to Burger King. I don't do that. So when you're talking about wagering, guys, if you're not, let's put it this way. If your dinner costs you $100, you need to have some money to play this game. This is not a game where you can come in here and go, okay, I've got $1,000, so I'm going to start wagering, and I'm going to start making a whole bunch of money. $1,000 isn't going to get you very much in this business because you've got to bump up your numbers. Money takes money to make money in sports gambling. So understand it in a sense that I'm not looking for people to teach how to gamble on that's going to play $20 a game. I'm not, because you don't know, you can learn some of the basics, I guess, but if you're playing $20 a game, you're not really gambling. You're not living. You're not out there doing the things you need to do. You're not being real successful in life. You've got to get to a point where you understand this business is about money takes money. And I get it. Sports books will take your $20. But if you're betting $20, I bet you're putting $20 on an 8-legged parlay to try to turn that $20 into $2,000. I don't want that guy. I want the guy that's going to go, I understand why you just made that bet. I'm going to go put $200, $300 on it. And if I lose, that's two nights worth of dinner. Guys, that's what this is. Okay? That's what this is about. So things have evolved from a point from way back, 15, 20, 30 years ago where $50 a bet's kind of a lot of money. Okay, well, it ain't that much money anymore. It is not. $50 a bet. $50 doesn't fill your goddamn gas tank. So understand the value of dollars and bets and what it takes to make money at this game. Be a bigger player. I don't know how many of you guys know Grant Cardone, but Grant Cardone is a guy that's a very public speaker, and he's a big motivator, and he's a sales trainer, and he's got this great saying though. And that great saying is, when I'm talking about, with the little money and the little this, afraid to do this and this, his thing is, don't be a little bitch. Go get out there and do your thing. And if you're going to go swing big, if you're going to go put some money out there, if you're going to go buy, instead of buying a house that you're going to rent, go buy an apartment complex and rent that out, stuff like that. He's pretty funny. But the point of it is, it's true. Don't be afraid. Go for it. And if you don't go for it and you're being real conservative, you're going to have a hard time unless, and it's just, I get it. You got to play a little defense here when you're playing this thing. You can't go all out. But at the same time, if you go all out, you ain't going to
win. With that, today, myself and Scotty will be around if needed again on Twitter at EC Sports Invest and at Webby20 MLB. We will be talking at length going over the weekend what we're going to do, and we will most likely obviously debut the Discord channel hopefully early next week. Again, we're looking for a group of people to start this that have the same interests as us, not that just want to get in there and nose around and just sit there and be silent, because a Discord channel only works with people communicating, people talking. We did a Discord channel in the past. We had, about 100 people in there, and there was like the same 5-10 people that talked, and it fizzles out, and it's no fun. As Scott's putting all his work in, I'm putting all my work in, and we're getting alerts that people are asking questions. Well, that takes time away from other things. So we could say, hey guys, okay, we're going to be in the live Discord channel from 5:30 to 6:30 for Q&As after the closing bell. We'll also be in there, from 12 to 12:30 after breakfast bankroll, because there's an afternoon slate or whatever. But it's there, again, to educate. We always talk about that. Yes, we do entertain as well, but it's more education. It's building bankrolls. It's building trusts. And that's what we're here to do. So for today, if you need us, holler. Otherwise, if you are wagering or investing today, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, ask for help. There's an 800 number available. Myself and Scotty, why? We care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy the baseball. Have some fun in the frozen pond, and we'll see you bright and early.